Welcome back to the News at 10. Let's continue now with our discussion with the Abuja coordinator for NEMA, Mr. Isha Chinoko. He joins us from Abuja. Mr. Chinoko, thank you for joining us on the News at 10 tonight.
Thank you, ma'am, and good evening, viewers.
You've been at the IDP camp, especially the one in Kaduna. Now, we saw in the report the state and the situation in which they're living. What did you observe when you visited?
Thank you very much. I think the simple response to what is happening in Kaduna is can be explained by just saying that, unlike what is happening in the Northeast, where we, have official camps, where we run camp management and camp coordination, which is easier for us to know how many people, we have in the camp, what are their needs for us to meet. Now, if you look at the situation in Kaduna, the IDPs just find their ways from trouble zone to safer zone. Now, on arrival, unfortunately, these people came without notice, if I may put it that way. Now, in disaster management, we have 3 levels of disaster management, which will have made the coordination of this IDP all over wheresoever they are more easier. They left the Northeast because of what is happening there. Now, they find themselves not only in Kaduna and many other state capitals and local governments. Now, we have 3 levels of disaster management, like I earlier said. We have the Local Government Emergency Management Committee. That's at the local government level. We have the State Emergency Management Agency at the state level, while we have the National Emergency Management Agency at the national level. Now, the procedure or how we operate at the 3 different levels is simple. Now, these people on arrival, they find themselves in a particular local government. That particular local government is responsible to respond first to the IDPs, because we expect that if you have some visitors in a local government, these visitors should, people should report to the local government so that they intervene. Now, on the process, we expected that the Local Government Emergency Management Committee should, bring these people into a particular place. Probably catering for them might be very difficult because of the challenges of finances. Now,
that is quite understandable. It is
That's
quite
the state emergency.
It's quite understandable what you're saying, that the local government is responsible for the upkeep of these people. But the local government has provided them a place to stay. Now, whose responsibility is it to provide them with the basics that they need? And whose responsibility is it to profile them so that, aid and everything else that they're supposed to get gets to the right people?
And then from my explanation, I think you will get it clear. Now, if after providing a place for the IDPs by the local government, and probably it could not continue because of the population of the IDPs, the State Emergency Management Agency need to come in to continue from where the Local Emergency Management Committee had stopped or could not go further, until when it overwhelms the State Emergency Management Agency, then the National Emergency Management Agency will come in. So now you could see why, the people in the IDPs in Kaduna who are not in official camp are facing the challenges. But however, we have done our best to do several interventions, and not just intervention per se. We try again to give the interventions we are doing since the day we identify and recognize the presence of the IDPs in the state. We try to publicize our intervention and making calls for NGOs and well-spirited Nigerians. Let me use this opportunity again to say what I always say if I have this opportunity.
Well, you might have to make it really quick.
I want to say that anytime, yeah?
I said you might have to make it really quick. I mean, what you're about to say.
Okay, like as Nigerians, anytime we are in trouble, that is when we love ourselves. But when there is peace, I want to say that we don't love ourselves, because what we see during our intervention to these IDPs is quite commendable. From both NGOs,
thank you so much,
CBOs, individuals on daily basis, they keep on providing intervention, because we coordinate that so that...
Mr. Chinoko, thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10. We appreciate your being with us tonight. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. The Abuja coordinator for NEMA, Mr. Ishaya Chinoko. Now, a violent clash has erupted between students of the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic, Owo, in Ondo State, Nigeria's southwest region, and men of the State Police Command. Reports saying the violence erupted after a police patrol van hit some students of the institution. Eyewitnesses say the protesting students barricaded the Owo-Akure Expressway, causing a gridlock that lasted several hours. Quite a number of people sustained injuries in the aftermath of this incident, while several vehicles were destroyed during the clash. The injured are receiving treatment currently in hospital. Sports news now. Nigeria's sole representative in the continent, Eyimba Vaba, this evening suffered an opening round of defeat in the group phase of the CAF Champions League. Visiting Zamalek of Egypt stunned the two-time African champions by a lone goal at the Adokie Amasiamaka Stadium in Port Harcourt in a Group B opener. Bassem Morsi got the only goal of the match to move his team to second spot in Group B. South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns defeated Algeria Setif 2-0 to lead the group on goals difference. Eyimba is third, while Setif is fourth after first round of matches. South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns will host Eyimba in Pretoria on June 29th. In the Nigeria Professional Football League, Abia Warriors this evening defeated Heartland of Owerri 1-0 in an Oriental derby at the Umuahia Township Stadium. Uche Herlam's 29-minute goal proved adequate to hand the Warriors a 3-point set stake in the matchday 23 clash. The win moves Abia Warriors to 7th on the league table with 32 points from 22 league matches, while Heartland are 18th with 22 points from 21 league games. Got it on a platter and struck it with his left foot. In tennis, Britain's Andy Murray this evening made a stirring comeback with a set and a breakdown to defeat Milos Raonic 6-7, 6-4, 6-3 in the final of the Aegon Championships for a record 5th title at Queen's. Murray became the first man to win the Queen's Club title 5 times. He overtakes the likes of John McEnroe, Boris Becker and Roy Emerson with 5 Aegon Championship titles. McEnroe was courtside for the final in his role as coach to Raonic, with the American's old adversary Ivan Lendl in the opposite corner after rejoining the Murray camp this week.
And the consistency is something I've been, very happy with the last few months. So, I need to keep that up now the next week or so, get some good rest in, but also, some good practice, keep working on some things so that I'm ready to go for Wimbledon.
Away from sports news, aid workers in Iraq have warned that there could be a humanitarian disaster in Fallujah as hundreds of civilians continue to leave the Iraqi city. The Iraqi government forces have succeeded in retaking most of Fallujah, but fighting continues in some parts of the city, which is just 50 kilometers west of Baghdad. Meanwhile, at least 11 children and adults have been killed after a storm caught a boating party on a lake in northern Russia. According to the mayor of the Russian capital, Sergei Sobyanin, 10 of the children were on holiday from Moscow. Emergency services say of the group 51, at least 36 are safe, with reports of survivors washing ashore. An instructor has been arrested on suspicion of safety. Now, residents of Ikot Ekpebere in Calabar municipality of Cross River State, South Nigeria, are calling on the state government to speed up its erosion intervention program in their community to avert loss of lives and destruction of property. The appeal is coming following the massive destruction of the erosion has left in its wake, a situation that has claimed a life with 2 others in critical condition. Our special report tonight highlights the plight of a community in danger of extinction.
For the residents of Ikot Ekpebere in Calabar municipality, the sounds of birds in the distance is perhaps the only thing that makes their mornings pleasant. All other things that should add to their joy have been taken from them by nature. Their homes and farmlands, wiped away by erosion, a situation they have been battling for years.
We observed it, thing in 2011, and it has been progressing by the day. New Map, the World Bank agency, had stepped into it in 2013. I think they have gone a long way. We are where the engineering design has been prepared, and then they were here for inspection on the 31st of May. And then they were here around again on the 15th of June. You know what they are saying, that an intervention can come until October, November, when the rains must have subsided. And then as a community now, we say if we wait up to that period now, a lot of damage must have been done.
Homes are deserted as many have fled for their lives. But for those who remain, it's living each day in fear and extreme caution.
And the main news again. Nigeria's #1 citizen, President Muhammadu Buhari, has arrived in Abuja after a 10-day medical leave to treat an ear infection in London. With the ongoing war against insurgency, the plight of internally displaced persons has remained the front burner, with over 4,000 IDPs residing in informal camps in Kaduna State. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.